In Book 1, Chapter 1, you spawn in, collect a key, unlock a door that leads you to another room. With the key, you escape another maze, then run straight through Shizu's part and go to Biwaki and don't get killed by her. And then enter the last maze and escape the hotel. Now we fast forward 3 years to Book 2, Chapter 3. You spawn in, you collect 4 hearts, and then you put them all in a hand, and you turn them a certain way that unlocks a door, which leads you to a chase sequence where a tiny slip-up will cost you your life. Jump down, look around for 3 crafting materials, build a purple flame, hope you learn not to randomly throw it. If you did randomly throw it, repeat this whole process until you kill the monster. Then you have to play Simon Says 8 times while killing a big snake creature. Once you successfully completed that, you must yield the exact given time or your teammates will die if you do even have teammates, and then you must solve a puzzle which will make your brain explode. If you successfully complete the puzzle, you move on to jealousy, where you must make deadly eye contact to intimidate them. Find your father, clean the dishes, and play a piano game where you must not lose your insanity. Go to the train, escape by clicking super fast. Then you have to reimagine Tokyo Toe, but with a chainsaw guy, and you must deliver 3 slugs or they will scream at your face. Suffer through waves of hell after that. Find items while Yuri stares at your soul, to where you then have to go kill her by collecting swords and throwing them at her. Run from Shinigami and escape. Now, as you can see from my description, Book 2 Chapter 3 is only a little bit more complex than Book 1 Chapter 1. But the big question is simpler really better in the Mimic? Was Book 1 Chapter 1 way better because it was simpler, or is Book 2 Chapter 3 because it was more complex? Now, there are 2 answers to this, and the short answer is they both serve a purpose. What Simpler does for the game is removes the barrier of entry. Most regular players cannot understand how to complete Book 2 Chapter 3. And with the Mimic, there are 2 main audiences. You have 1, the hardcore players like the speedrunners, the collectors, and the massive fans of the game. The second audience are the people scrolling through games on Roblox and come across the Mimic, a scary Roblox horror games. It looks intriguing, so they decide to play it. Remember, they know nothing about the game. Now, Chapter 1 is really easy to learn from my description. It takes basic survival instincts. Well, when I can imagine a new player playing Book 2 Chapter 3, I can see them being driven away. And the thing is too, the audience would never interact with YouTube videos such as mine or any other Mimic YouTuber, so we hardly ever see them, and the Mimic doesn't see them either, so the game isn't changed around them. And the big problem the Mimic has with that audience is most people will play the newest chapter because it's the most interesting and the most talked about, and if it's too complex, it may drive people away. And this audience is way bigger than you think. The audience is called casuals, and it's pretty much all Roblox users looking for a fun game. This is why the Mimic thrived during Book 1. The simple gameplay was easy to get into all the way up to Chapter 4, and I think it's very important for the Mimic's health to make this audience happy, even if they're not heard. If the audience that arrives then leaves, it's still a massive audience. Now, for the hardcore players, Book 2 Chapter 3 is the ideal chapter, because we understand the game better, we know how to complete the complex parts, and stick through it. The chapter was longer too, which leads to longer game time, but I think even hardcore Mimic fans enjoy easier content as well, as long as it's good. Because this leads right into my other video, why the Mimic is not as scary. Because if we're too focused on completing and figuring out how to do something, we don't have time to be scared. In Book 3, Muck said a return to the suspenseful easy content, which would be ideal and would bring a mountain of people back. Because there are a ton of people looking for an easy, detailed Roblox horror game. And the Mimic has got all that right now, except for easy. I think the Mimic should really look at what they did right in Book 1 and do it better, because they struck gold with it. Yes, there was complex parts, and the complex parts are fine, but the complex parts only work if there is fun, and the fun needs to be there. And if they can't go side by side, then I think the fun should come first with the horror element. I really do think the Mimic is going to be making a big change with this in Book 3, and I really hope that this audience is recognized. Because there's a lot of people I've met who would have tried to Mimic in Book 1 during Chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, but not during Book 2. Thank you guys all for watching. We got another new Mimic video coming out very soon, which has been asked about a ton. Here's a little sneak peek here up on screen. Thank you too to the people who suggested this video in the comments on my previous videos. Let me know what I should do next in my next videos in the comment section down below on this video. Thank you all and peace out.